What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we are going to be doing the review of two prototype fixed blades by SRK Knives. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So, two knives, two prototypes by SRK. What does SRK stand for? It stands for Self-Reliant Knives. Love that name. I love that name because I myself am, a sensible prepper. I like to be prepared. Self-reliant, I think that all goes into one another, goes together, and so I really dig the name. Cliff over at SRK Knives is the one who is making these, and these two are prototypes. This one actually does have a name. This one is called the LeBlanc, which is our buddy Alex, the guy who's really behind, some of this, as far as getting this knife out there to some of us YouTubers. Really cool dude. This is named after him, which I think is awesome. And this is the bigger of the two prototype fixed blades. And then we have this one, which is still yet to be named, but the smaller of the two. Very cool, very sleek EDC fixed blades. So fixed blades are always a little bit harder for me to review because I do carry an EDC fixed blade, if I could talk, on me every now and again. I used to carry one all the time. Then I kind of stopped because I was carrying so much gear, to test, multiple folders and whatnot. And so I did stop. The one that I carried a bunch was this guy, which is the Essie Azula 2. It's a very, very small knife. It's a good knife, but it comes in this old plastic sheath, and I've got the Blade Tech lock on there, and it works okay. I've got very big hands, and so it's a smaller knife. It still works, but it definitely doesn't feel very comfortable to carry with that Blade Tech lock like I thought it would. But my philosophy of use behind an EDC fixed blade is just that. It's an EDC fixed blade, something that I don't want to use a folder for. I'm going to get it out and use it for that. So I want something obviously a little bit tougher, which any fixed blade is going to be tougher than a folder, right? Don't chop my head off, because there are some very tough folders out there. Trust me, and I've got some. But I always carry my EDC fixed blade, or any fixed blade for that matter, on my left side. I'm right-handed, but I carry my firearm on my 3 o'clock, 3.5, whatever. And so my firearm always lives there. It never leaves my side. So my fixed blade has to go on the left side. And there's a couple of different ways that I can carry it, especially like this. This is the sheath that it's going to come with. Now, he did say there was going to be some tweaks on, a little bit of all. This is just prototypes, guys. But a scout carry with belt loops like this really work for me. For a couple of reasons. Because I can carry this kind of, what would that be? 10 o'clock-ish, right underneath the appendix right there. Not right in front, but right a little bit off. Or I can carry it on my side. Both of those worked well with the sheath system and the retention. This particular knife is the bigger of the two. And as you can see, even with my big old hands, it barely does, but it fits my hand. Fills out the hand well. And then this one is what I would classify, and what I use this for is for an EDC fixed blade and, a kind of a camp companion. Okay, this is not going to be a knife that I would do batoning with or anything like that, but whittling wood, making snares, those kind of tasks. This right here works great. I didn't actually make snares, but I did do some feather sticking and whatnot. I didn't get that on camera because it's just been crazy. But this thing performs well. And one of the reasons that it performs well and why I say not really for batoning is because of the thinner blade stock. This is about 85 thousandths blade stock. This is going to be in LC200N. So a thin blade stock made out of LC200N and about 20 thousandths behind the edge. As of right now, these prototypes, obviously geometries can change a little bit. Holy crap, does that make for an outdoorsman? Hunting knife, you're not going to be doing, a lot of hard processing of wood, but you're going to be doing some hunting, maybe some skinning of some animals. You got plenty of belly there. Fishing. If I'm going camping, I'm usually doing stuff like that. And so with LC200N blade steel, it's going to be a no-brainer. I think it's an excellent choice for this knife and this knife. This one was the one that appealed to me the most because it was a little bit bigger, but it's not like crazy bigger compared to the other one, which we'll put them up in a second. But I love the ergonomics. I mean, it's a fixed blade, guys. So you have a little bit of a swoop right there where your forward finger goes, and then you just wrap it up. I do feel locked in. This one does have really nice jimping that's far up on the blade. I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. It's not aggressive, but it's just enough to kind of bite in and index your finger where you want it to be. You know where the knife is. It's very, very comfortable. I did do some draw cuts, which I don't usually do because I carry folders. The draw cut, it's very, very comfortable. Hammer grip, saber grip, whatever grip you want to put it in. Now this one is wearing black micarta and red G10 scales, full tang knife. The transitions and the finishing around this whole thing are very good. Like I said, the production models could vary, but I do know he's going to have a few different color options. But the black and red really tickle my fancy. I love the way this thing looks. You do have a very nice sharpening choil on that. That's very much appreciated. Sharpening in the field, which I haven't done because I still haven't gotten a field sharpener yet. But, with my angled system to put this on there, it just makes things so much easier. So that is so very much appreciated. Hardware, I'm not sure if the hardware is going to stay the same, but it's very beefy hardware on this guy. I mean, nothing's loose, nothing's going anywhere. It's just a very nice light to mid-duty EDC because the size you could do a lot with, but with a thinner blade stock, it really is designed to cut and to cut well. So before we get into the other one, let's go ahead and do some regular cuts. So here it is on some cardboard. Nothing. I mean, I see how I did see how I even curved it. I just took the blade out before it got there. Very, very nice. Let's see what it does with the paracord. Like butter. A little tougher stuff. This is the twisted sisal rope. Let's see what it does to that. Oh, that was probably the best I've had on the twisted sisal rope. So the blade geometry is there. I hope it doesn't move away from that too much on the regular production model because it really works well. I'm glad they went with a thinner blade stock because, even, let's see. What do we got here? On the Essie, which is a smaller knife, you're looking at about 170 thousandths thick blade stock versus 85 thousandths. So obviously, it is going to slice a lot better than some of your other fixed blades that you buy. And I love that they did that. The design between Cliff and Alex, they're doing some stuff. So this is the one that I carried with this scout carry in a couple of different spots, and it worked out amazing. There is no action to talk about. There is no opening and closing. It is just a simple yet very well designed tool with this classic drop point blade that I think is going to be perfect for a lot of people's EDC fixed blade task or just a camp companion. You're going fishing, with the LC200 in steel. It's just perfect for the outdoors. So I really am stoked that they went that route. Now this one came as a neck knife. It just came, with a piece of lanyard or a paracord on it. And so I don't really carry neck knives because it doesn't conceal with the big belly. Okay. But when I was, outdoors, with these knives and with my son, he absolutely loves this thing, by the way. I carried it just like that, and with this sheath, it works perfect. Whenever I'm outdoors and I'm doing a bunch of stuff, it swings around a little bit, so I still rather scout carry, and I'm not exactly sure what all the options are. Look at that. I'm not sure what the options are going to be for the sheath. So you'll probably be able to get a scout carry sheath for this, you probably will have options. I just don't know what those are going to be yet. But the sheath, I love the color. This is that green. You have green micarta with the orange G10 liners. just a great combination. I mean, you can't go wrong with that either. Black and red, green and orange, like those are the two color combinations that I'm going to pick most of the time. But as you can see, this one's a little bit smaller. Go ahead and put them side by side here. Just a hair smaller. I can't hardly hold them. So it's not by much. But the biggest difference between these two knives is the thickness of the handle. So I usually don't like a thin handle, okay? And the reason is because I've got big old meat hooks, guys. So this handle feels just a little bit thin for me to feel really comfortable. But this size, even though it's just a little bit smaller, it's still got 85 thousandths thick blade stock. But this one comes down to like 15 thousandths behind the edge versus 20 thousandths behind the edge. So holy crap, are they doing a great job grinding these, because this is like 7/8 wide and this is like 1 1 1/16. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive for, that thin of blade stock, that, width of the blade to get 15 thousandths behind the edge. So let's go ahead and see what this one cuts like, shall we? So this one I can feel goes through it just a little bit better because of that thinness behind the edge. I mean, it's just, there's absolutely no resistance there. I mean, freaking A. See what it does, because the LeBlanc actually went through the twisted sisal rope like butter, and so did this one. Maybe a tad bit more resistance, but that is definitely probably me doing that. I mean, come on, if you're going to have a blade, you want it to cut like that, right? I do. And now if I'm going out camping and I want something to baton with, I will have something else. I'll have a saw, I'll have an axe, a hatchet, whatever. These, seriously, I could carry it every day. And now, you have a little bit of weight. Let's go ahead. I didn't do the weight. So the LeBlanc, we'll go ahead, and its overall length of 7.5 inches with a blade length of 3 3/8, cutting edge of 3 1/4. The blade width is, like I said, about 1 1/16. Blade thickness, 85 thousandths. Behind the edge, 20 thousandths. And you've got a full 4 inch of handle length. Well, let's see what it weighs without the sheath. You're looking at 3.25 ounces. With the sheath, you're looking at 5.4. That is lighter than a lot of the fixed blade or the folders that I carry. So that's not an issue, especially with this belt setup. You really can't feel that it's there. It might be a little too long for some people. It's definitely not for me. I'm a bigger guy, so it doesn't really bother me at all. But it might be a little too long for some people. But if you're going to carry an EDC Fixed Blade, I think you're going to have to sacrifice that. If you're not doing it as an EDC and you're using this as like a camp fishing outdoor tool, then you're really not going to care, because you're not going to try to conceal it, right? Let's see what the other one is. So we're looking at 2.7 ounces with just the knife. And 3.85 ounces. So quite a bit of difference as far as the weight, right? I still would rather carry this on my belt. But, as a neck knife, it could definitely still work for a lot of people. It worked for Jake over at Bearded Gear because he's thin and he can do that. Bastard. I love Jake. Jake actually had these knives before me. He sent them to me. Alex sent them to him. And now I am not sure if these are going to another YouTuber or if they're going back, but I am so freaking stoked about this run of products that SRK and Alex have kind of collaborated together, and they're working to get the name out there. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited about, I'm going to have their Instagrams, the SRK Instagram here. And then I'm also going to have Alex's Instagram here. And then I'm going to have them listed down below. So that way you can go to SRK on Instagram and check out some of the models, some of the newer pictures that he's got of these things, and give them a look-see, because these things are, I believe, are going to do really well. He just did a lot of stuff right when it comes to these knives, with the blade choice, the size, the shape, the comfort, the materials. I just think they did a really, really good job. And I'm very honored that they allowed me to take these prototypes and put them to the test and use them. I couldn't be happier. So the community is great, guys. So anyways, definitely go SRK Knives right now on Instagram, link down below, and check out his Instagram and all of his pictures. Hit him up, ask him some questions. He's a very cool guy. Cliff is just freaking awesome, and so is Alex. So yeah, guys, stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.